You cannot draw these lines. I have people literally coming in to work with me to learn to do screen print and relief and maybe monotype because they want to be able to make a nice, perfect, flat color. There's certain things printmaking can do really well that like painting and drawing can't do. And there's, again, it goes back to our bodies and being very intimate with the process and direct with the process, but also kind of indirect with printmaking. But you're working with your hands, and it's a lot of steps to get to the end, but kind of keeps your mind stimulated the whole time. So. I studied engraving arts. That's actually what got me into printmaking, because originally I was studying with firearm engravers and learning how to cut metal on objects, and someone showed me, hey, you can print that. So, and the rest is history. So after my undergrad, I ended up going to the University of Tennessee here in Knoxville, and that brought me to the South, and fell in love and planted roots here and stayed. And yeah, printmaking, just after grad school, I wanted to continue to work in printmaking, and we, as printmakers, similar to ceramicists, we need a lot of specific equipment. It's really expensive, it can take up a lot of space, so, you know, community print shops aren't a new thing, but I was kind of surprised that with UT's print program and how kind of prestigious that program is, that there was nothing that existed outside of the university within Knoxville. And I think a lot of us needed that especially undergrads and grads would graduate and lose that access to that shop. The Relay Ridge began really because an old studio called Vacuum Shop Studios, which was another kind of group rental studio. We all went together on a studio. A lot of UT grads and undergrads that were out after school needed a place to work, and unfortunately that place shut down in 2020. We found this place very quickly, and I was actually at Aramont painting a mural at the time where I wasn't able to come see it initially before we put an offer in. So my husband took videos. This place had a lot of character, and because it was had offices and a warehouse, that it just made sense. So it was larger than we wanted, but that's kind of what enabled us to, hey, well, we should have a gallery then, because Knoxville also needs more spaces for us to share work and also bring new work to Knoxville. And then this always kind of opened up an idea for the community print shop, which I kind of always had maybe an idea of that in the back of my mind, but kind of just wasn't pushing for it, but it just sort of fell into place and made sense. And so I took my personal equipment, my presses that I kind of had in my studio at Vacuum Shop, and decided, well, now we're going to have a community print shop. So my stuff is everybody's, and we began to have a place that you could pay just monthly to come use unlimited use of the print shop and get a flat file in a locker and start hanging out with other people, and like right now there's a couple people in the print shop working, and so it's kind of the idea of what we loved about school and the community that we had there, that we can have that outside of the university. And in addition, we were also able to continue what Vacuum Shop Studios was, which was private studios for us to get away from home and distractions and come have a focused place to, you know, close your door and work. And, but also on occasion open up to the public with like First Fridays.
When she opened the building, she had initially approached me because she was like, you're a printmaker, you need to be part of this printmaking community. Yeah, at the time I was like, no, but then all of a sudden I was like, I need a space. And there was a space available, and so with a lot of effort, and I think there was like 10 people, we moved my press into this space, and yeah, and so I came here a year and a half ago. Because it is like an older medium, I love just like seeing people's reactions, especially like when they come to my studio. I'm like, people are drawing on stones, and then you're like, and then I print from the stones, and people's minds are just like, because for them, you know, they read like in old books and stuff and says lithograph, and they're like, they don't understand that technical process. But you know, when people come through the studio and they're like, see what I'm doing in my studio, they're like, they connect those dots, and they're just like, oh wow, that's really interesting. And you know, and it's good because it gets them excited, and then they want to take classes here at Relay Ridge, and then, you know, it brings a new passion, and that means those old mediums, those like antiquated processes. It's like they're preserved. We get to hold on to them, especially in this digital age where so many people are trying to get rid of this stuff. It's nice to see a place where all of these mediums and techniques are, honored.
Jake, actually, this was originally his idea because there was in New York, they did this little group called a Printmakers Anonymous group where we would just meet once a month and get together and talk shop and hang out. So we wanted to start a group, and we started that back in January of 2023. And it quickly gained, I think we had 9 people kind of originally, and then it gained a little momentum. I was happily shocked that people kept showing up every month, and we had about 12 to 15 on average, which is a great sized group. And then Ashley Mays of Museum of Infinite Outcomes, of course, is a printmaker in town and was coming to those meetings, and she had a little dream of a little press fest, a publisher's fair is really what she was, I think, wanting. And then we had been talking, me and a couple other printmakers in town had talked about, we should host a steamroller print event, which is where we invite a bunch of artists to carve really large wood blocks, and they all carve them independently, and then we all get together on a weekend and rent a steamroller and print them outside because there's not a lot of etching presses that can print a block that large. So it's a big fun community event, all hands on deck.
Oh yeah, we'll have to make sure everybody grabs this.
It's really nice. It's nice to have like a small group of like-minded individuals, and it's just a really tight community, and we get together and we have Crit Club, and we see each other's work, and you get to pop into people's studios when they're here and just catch up and see what's new on their walls or what's new on their tables and what they're doing. And it's a nice environment to just be a part of, especially next to the community print shop, and just see people coming and going and using the space and just really embodying what printmaking's about, which is community.
Seeing the response from the community makes me, again, just feel like, well, we have to continue to provide this because the response is so good. And really, it fulfills me so much. Every time we open and we have people show up, it overwhelms me with just fulfillment of how cool is it that you can have these other great people and we can all help each other. I mean, it sounds kind of corny, but it's true. It's it just feels like your birthday every time you have these openings because people are just here to hang out and enjoy each other's company.